Everybody, it's Last Robokai here. Time for some more Prey. And last time we learned that January was us, but we didn't actually learn anything else because our brother Alex kind of interrupted the message. So we have to head off to the hardware labs where they made the looking glass system that we were using to view it, and we got to fix that up so that we can see the rest of it. And joining me as always is Cool Guy.
Heya, I have no idea what's going on as usual. I'm probably actually just gonna go grab a beer because, like, seriously, This is the most entertaining blind thing I've watched in the last like 3 years. I want to enjoy this properly. Damn it.
Well, the hardware labs is, unlike the lobby, a place we won't be coming back to a tremendous amount. So what it is essentially helping set the scene of Talos One, and a space station full of people. It's lived in, it's worked in, and let's get stuck straight in. Oh, Transstar's board of directors is made up of shadowy group of people doing shadowy stuff. Okay, so now everybody voted essentially that we were gonna go with whatever I felt like. So to start with, for adding our little neuromods in, I'm just gonna do like a little of everything.
One of the suggestions that came up was that you should do like whatever I think looks good because I'm blind on this. And I'm just like, I don't think you realize exactly. Oh, Jesus, Mary, God, that's happening, isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah.
Not
Doesn't matter
okay.
when you do it. The very first time you install a neuromod, it's like that.
Not okay. Not okay.
Good thinking. You'll be ready for a medical emergency.
And January comments on the very first one you do.
And only the very first.
Necropsy
one you do,
is a
huh?
pretty important one if you're intending
Yeah.
on making more neuromods, so we're gonna grab that.
Yep. Yeah, my comment had been that you can you can talk to me on what exactly you should be doing, but you and I have pretty similar tastes as far as this goes.
So, I've upped the room we've got. We've got the basic repair function. Gonna get basic leverage just to show that off, and I've got the one human ability that uses psi. So now we will have unlocked our psi stat.
Ah, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Combat focus. It's essentially time slowdown. It's like
You're rocking it like Max Payne or the Fear Doorman or Point Man is what I meant to say, not Doorman. What the
very
hell?
very point man. Yeah. So the Typhon don't just corrupt living organisms. Our friends the operators are sent very wacky. That was completely out of range. I forget, like it just like lights up in red. But you saw the stun gun takes out like half their health and stuns them,
The dumbest.
and you want to get away from
ever.
them afterwards. Yeah, that's not a mimic. No, that was just straight up corrupted operator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, they're their own thing, and
And they're bad at what they
why?
do.
well, that I caught by surprise. If you don't catch them by surprise, they can be quite an experience, and that happens. So please look forward to it.
I'm sure that'll come up then.
Still grabbing way too much food, but yay! Look at that, all of that inventory space we have now.
That's so beautiful. I ended up with an Avery Brewing Company Samael, oak aged ale. I'm a big fan of this stuff.
Oh dear, you're gonna make me crack open a beer now too.
Oh God, this is this is a good experience. I have no, I have. Oh man, seriously, I've been doing a startup accelerator with my company for the last month and a half, and during that time, I have had like exactly zero drops of alcohol that wasn't in like an intense social setting. So this is one of the most
Okay, so
relaxing moments I've had in about 2 months.
okay. I'm always told there's like a jump scare or something looking through the telescope, but I've never had it happen to me.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna-
Like,
I was gonna say,
I've
it
had people
seems-
go, "Oh man, like maybe you just have to look there for a while." I don't know, like, or maybe it's a different one.
Too fast, too. Okay.
Too far, too fast. Just basically saying, are we going a little bit too crazy? I'm just gonna take my headset off because I can't actually reach my fridge unless I take it off.
Man, terraforming this is a freaking axe to grind for me, because like the entire idea of terraforming other planets is so ridiculously stupid when you compare it to simply building orbital habitats in space. You can make orbital habitats spin to approximate Earth G, and no matter how good you ever get at like manipulating other areas or other planets or whatever, you're never going to substantially change their mass like that. You are never going to.
Yeah, but as a Gundam fan, you're never going to land a Mars colony on Sydney and destroy it. Fuck you, Jean.
Like a disease.
So I'm drinking a Yenda Hell.
I don't think I've had that one. Is that a local brew review?
That's an Australian brewed one.
All right, fair enough.
In Yenda in New South Wales.
Yeah, Avery's a that's a reasonably a large brewery. You can get their stuff most places in the United States, but I know you can't get any of it in Canada. So
I said we were going to talk about what Phantoms do, because we haven't really had a chance to really see it so much. Yeah, they can move, but also they can shoot kinetic blasts.
Whoa!
And those things are big AoE effects. So that's why, like, prolonged fights against the Typhon, like, even against, like, the basic Phantoms, are a completely terrible experience.
Yeah.
Because they will just wreck you. You do not want to fight them on equal terms.
Damn, son, I was rooting for that guy. I'm sad now.
He almost got out of there, but he had to stop and try and open
the
an
glue
event.
gun and everything, too, thinking on his feet? Shoot. Duck beer. Okay.
Yeah. Duck beer. Yeah.
Duck beer. That's just fine.
Once again, it behooves you to look up.
As always, think vertically in arcane games.
This game
off.
really wants you to be vertical too. So many things you can do, so many places you can get to.
I will say that, like, the habit of looking up that arcane games have drilled into me as an adult. So, you know, you're Dishonored, this game, even Dark Messiah. This actually saved me from about 3 or 4 practical jokes from my coworkers over the years. This is
human beings don't look up.
Yeah, I've gained a reputation as an unusually alert person because of the training I've gotten here.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it when we did it last time too, but security rooms are something you want to try and get in sooner rather than later, because they give you a map for starters, which is extremely handy, but they'll always have access to somewhere. Like the one we couldn't get into in the very opening, there was something interesting that you can get access to via the security room. And we'll be going back for that, of course. But this is good because you get some more spare parts. We can get a neuromod which will let us take spare parts from broken operators. You can tell there's a Phantom around.
Attitude adjustment required. Boy, isn't that multi-layered? Hello, Phantom.
Deploying.
And as you can see, like, that took off half its health with one kinetic blast. But again, it's like the resources you save on knowing what's coming, and so like very much trying to sort of face up against it.
That was pretty much the definition of better it than you.
Lab equipment, special parts requests, prototypes. We should be able to fix your looking glass terminal from Dr. Calvino's workshop.
Dr. Calvino is a cool name.
Mm-hmm. He's it's a bit of a problem though. Apparently, he's dreaming about something in his looking glass system. But Hardware Labs was especially hard hit by the aliens turning up.
Looks like it. You know, like an entire quarter of this laboratory is on fire and all.
Gives us a good opportunity to show off another great function of the glue gun.
Cool.
However. Yeah, it extinguishes flames, but doesn't just extinguish flames. This thing's like a maintenance device. So if you've got stuff leaking from pipes, like gas or fire, you can plug. Yeah, I don't know. You can actually plug those using this as well.
Wow, it's like the smallest flame you got yourself burned on.
Yeah, well, it barely hurt as well.
Yeah,
I didn't get much
damage. It did
damage.
like a whole 2 damage. I'm sure everybody is really concerned about your long-term physical health here. I know that is so cool. I almost this is already ending up being one of those games that I hope they just end up open sourcing in like 10 years simply because the amount of or the number of interactions that they've gone through the trouble of programming into this stuff is just so cool.
And we're still not at like the full complement of things the glue gun can do either.
You can locate him, or what's left of him, with the security roster.
Yeah, Hardware Labs is a new condition.
left
I
of
don't,
him.
you know.
Your AI construct has absolutely no tact whatsoever. I approve of this.
Well, I think under the circumstances, it's been programmed to be pragmatic.
I like I said, I'm not messing with it. I think it's fine.
So that electrical conduit over there that's faulty can actually hurt you and likely very much kill you. Sorry, I saw two together and got paranoid. And one of the ways around the problem is you can turn the power off. We're not going to do that, because turning off the power turns off the elevators, turns off the lights. It's I just generally find it a really, really bad idea.
Can't you seal the area with the glue gun?
You can seal it, but with the electricity, it actually after a while shocks it back open again.
Interesting.
So what you want to do is you can glue gun it, and then once we get the right amount of neuromods, I can I'll get the next level of repair skill, which should let me go up and fix that.
Interesting. That is so cool. Seriously, it's just like, well, can't you glue gun it? Yes, you can. You can, but because of the different characteristics denoted in the or implied in the physics of electricity flow versus flame flow, or rather feeding flames, it doesn't work forever. Fucking, that's so brilliant. I love it. Oh my god, seriously.
Another great mimic moment as well is the someone was saying we were testing out the recycling charges because this is where they were developed, and they're like, we've got some weird organic matter in there instead of just the regular materials. It's really strange because the mimic was like, I'm gonna pretend to be a box, and then got turned into organic matter.
Womp womp.
So thankfully, because we've got leverage 1, we can just take this grate and move it away, and we can get access to this material and the note that tells us the safe code.
Ballistic save.
So it's immediately useful. It's actually kind of funny to say this, but this is I can't remember actually having ever gone into the ballistics chamber. I think I always get distracted and just don't go in there. So this was a first for me. I didn't even do it in my test runs. I just sort of stumbled upon it. So
you did mention to me when you were practicing this area, it was like a complete shit show. And then the second you sat down to record it, it was just like, yes, everything snapped, just right into place.
Everything went really well. I do miss picking up the stuff that's under the under that staircase there.
Can you murder those mimics?
Yeah. See, this is where they test the grenades and stuff. And we've got a console over here that lets you.
Beautiful. That's
well, it lets you do two things. It lets you drop recycling charges,
as well as
and it also lets you open the chamber. I like that open the chamber is the first option, so people who just sort of cycle through all the stuff release mimics on themselves.
Get fucked, nerds.
There you go. That's that.
God, that's cathartic. And I'm already.
I mean, you could probably also like stuff that chamber full of stuff and like use it again, I guess. Like as free recycling charges if you really want to sort of build up stuff.
That sounds like being super overwrought with the situation.
It can be handy.
Man, this beer is already holy crap! This one is 14.6% alcohol by volume. So this
one's only 4.2.
This is a hard. I'm drinking a pretty hardcore beer.
Oh, that's all right. We got 50 minutes to get through it. Well, nearly an hour.
Yeah,
actually.
no, I mean, I'm only about a third of the way through this beer. It's good. I'm enjoying myself.
Hey, it's Langley. Are you is there anything weird going on over there?
No, like what?
I don't want you to panic.
What is going on, Langley?
Not sure yet. Security's running all over the place. So, everyone's still working there?
I guess. I don't know. I've been in the lab all day. Hang on. I'm looking now. I don't...
What was that?
Oh my god, I think we just lost 2 labs.
What?
I have to go.
Oh, yeah. Miss Okabe. I am so sorry.
Because the the hardware labs is located in a place where obviously, like, if something goes horribly wrong, it doesn't tear out the middle of the station. It's on
Right.
the ends.
It's a little bit modular.
Yeah, so like it's by design. The people who are inside are probably going to die, but everybody else is spared somewhat.
Nice shot. I completely missed that one. It even
So now we
tells
can
you
pick
when
up
you
all
get
those
a
extra tumors.
yeah. It even tells you when you get a critical hit on one of them.
So that's a location that another way to get in. So we don't even need to do like the repairing stuff if we want to. There's about 3 accesses to that area. The first is through the main area. There's a lower access, which and a higher access. We just did the higher one.
Play your way. They are.
Yeah, no, it's really
they said
good.
it, and it's true. 9mm bullets, silence pistol. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Let's just have to take out. There's actually something interesting there near the statue that we'll go back to later. Not in this video. So yeah, this is. The game wanted you to learn how to do the search for someone feature that I talked about last episode, but I knew exactly where Dr. Calvino is, so.
You'll have to upgrade your suit with a propulsion system first.
Oh man, they're gonna upgrade your suit, and you're gonna go full dude space on this, aren't you? Dead space, whatever. Sorry,
You always call it that, so
dude,
I can understand why you started doing it.
It started out Dead Space. Dead Space 1 was really creepy and all like that, and that was fine. And then Dead Space 2 and 3 was more just dude space. Also, hello.
So there we go.
Phantom.
Yep, because this is how combat focus
Oh.
works, and as you can see,
Damn.
like against the standard ones, it's like mid-range and a bit of distance. You can do a lot of work.
That was brilliantly brutal.
Yeah, not all of the Phantom types are going to make it that easy. Combat focus gives you a lot more breathing room, but the time it takes with some of these weapons at the upgrade levels they are to kill these things, it's even worse trying to deal with it. This is like the one time actually having like a password everyone knows is acceptable, because it's a tabletop used like by multiple testing groups throughout like the day.
It's one of those situations where you wonder why in the hell there's even a password in the first place.
Talking about these guys were all talking about the glue gun, and they were talking about how the testers were constructing something.
Oh, that owns
Mr. Gluey McGlueface over here.
That is so incredibly real too. Like.
And yep, all the components that are stuck in there you can pick up.
That is so.
I know
that
someone
is
out
so
there is going to be
real.
very upset that I've killed Gluey McGlueface, but you know it's.
I think they would have been way more upset if they hadn't all been brutally murdered by an alien infection. Hello, Mimic. I thought he seemed.
I give this mimic so much credit that it held its nerve while like a massive gunfight was going off. It's like,
right?
Nope. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
I thought it was a little bit weird simply because the seat portion of the chair was facing down, and I hadn't seen that happen. But well, actually, I'm sorry, I did see that happen once, but it was a mimic last time. How the fuck do I remember that?
Who knows?
I don't even understand.
I like how each area has its own little story though. Like that was there's glue in spatters all the way. This person has run into this room trying to like stop the phantoms and the mimics and everything, and unfortunately not been able to make it, and just sort of like panicked, spraying everything around
Didn't
themselves.
quite get there in time. It's a little bit like Viscera cleanup detail, honestly. Like when you're watching VCD or when you're playing VCD, there's like an extra credit thing where you reconstruct how everybody died, and you're just like, okay,
Yes.
he was chased down, eviscerated, cut up, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I don't know, it reminds me of Viscera cleanup detail in that way, and that's good because VCD is a good game.
I think the red ones are denoted to be stuff that can actually open up quests, because I've noticed every time we've clicked on a red one,
It gives you an objective,
it gives us a little bit of an objective, or it gives us a
you
code
a
or
key
something.
code or something. It's something that's important.
Maybe it's just meant to be like a priority alert email to sort of draw your eyes to it. But
I mean, Google, the Gmail does that. If it's supposed to be tagged or high priority for whatever reason, it'll like outright put an extra thing on there. It's like an extra tag, and it'll if you highlight it, it'll just be like, "Hey, I'm tagging this because it's important to you for this reason." Yikes! Jorgen Thorstein.
As you can see, the shotgun can take a phantom off its feet as well, which can make taking them down a lot easier.
You picked that guy apart, brother.
I told you I was really happy with how I went with the combat in this one.
Damn.
I have the sense he resented you.
I have the sense he resented you. Thank you, January.
You know, January's got some memories of interacting with him, although that particular Morgan is not the original Morgan. It needs to be stressed. The Morgan January that made January is still not the original Morgan that settled in on all of this. So who knows what the original Morgan was
Mind
like? We'll find out, but yeah. Yeah, so we talked about how no one knows what the reployer is. I looked it up when it got mentioned in the thread about reployers. Apparently the reployer was just a thing that was going to get cut from the game.
Oh.
And they kept it in because I guess they couldn't figure out what the hell it was supposed to do anyways.
That's fair. I'd say that's fair.
Oh, look, a periodic table. I wonder if that's going to involve a puzzle.
Oh my god. Pretty much anytime you see...
Yep, there you go.
Fucking hell. So it's going to be the chemical number for, or the atomic weight of those two elements put together.
Yep.
That's
pretty
what it's
simple.
going to be. I'm...
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Jesus Christ, I'm mostly drunk. How the fuck...
Well, I mean, like, it's kind of intuitive. You're drawn to this giant board, and you'd sort of look the way they've designed the.
I mean, I'd say
the thing
I'd say chemistry nerds are the worst in that way. But by the same token, I always get this like little bit of this little sensation of goose flesh every time I see science being used in that way, just because I'm a big fan of science all around. So I can't be too mad.
Dishonored 2 has a similar puzzle.
It does at that.
But it's not a periodic table though.
It is how I mean, it's more religious than scientific, if that's the one you're thinking of.
So there we go. We've cleared out the first area of the hardware labs, but we're still not right there yet.
I'm in the middle of doing the Royal Conservatory in my Dishonored run right now. So I'm seeing all of this stuff happen, and it's just like we've cleared out the first area, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can relate to that. Just clearing out each individual level of the conservatory, and then getting ambushed by frickin' witches all the way around. I still haven't watched your stuff on that.
Kind of amusing is they don't seem to have noticed.
They really don't seem to care that they're being attacked by a hail of bullets.
Which is why this is a tremendous mistake.
I really appreciate, by the way, that the shit.
So they have little welding flamethrowers, and I told you,
damn, son.
Don't think you could just mess with these guys. They're actually pretty impressive.
That's a serious problem right there.
Well, there you go, and that's another thing that the repair can do. Like I said, like the fire wrecks your armor. Fire wrecks your armor absolutely. So
yeah, and that makes
fire
sense.
Phantoms, and thankfully we've got quite a few suit repair kits, so we can get it back up again. Less armor you've got.
I seriously can't be the only person who's laughing internally at the fact that these turrets are like they have debug and verbose mode on. They're checking the server for updates. It's exactly like it is every time you load your favorite game, and it's like I'm checking for DLC. God damn it!
Mm-hmm.
These things are instruments of death, and they're doing exactly the same things as their video games. Bravo!
Just wait till you pop some Typhon in and start listening to what they have to say.
I have no doubt
they start saying some very troubling things.
I have no doubt whatsoever. I mean, they've already been saying Typhon contaminant detected. So if you use a neuromod that isn't human, I get the feeling that they're not going to be entirely happy about your existence.
We'll see. we'll see. I love getting to say that. This is my favorite part about doing this with somebody who's never done before. It's like you'll see what they do.
I have absolutely no idea what's coming, and I have never been happier to be completely uninformed.
Look at that lazy corrupted operator.
Dude.
Get a job, you lazy bum. Just laying on his side, just going, I don't want to work today.
Was that the corruptor that said found you? That was creepy. What the fuck was that?
Well, you gotta remember the hardware labs is kind of exploding.
Yeah, no shit, but it was the problem here is that you have a whole bunch of alien organisms rolling around. So something falling from above your head is not necessarily simply something falling from above your head. It could be a goddamn ambush.
Yeah, it could be. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Down you go.
It was in the Terrence blind spot. They aren't 360, which is kind of funny.
Every airlock has a manual seal you'll have to disengage before you can spacewalk. While engineered as a safety measure, it's irrelevant when the enemy is already inside the station. If you do go out there, I wouldn't stray far. The Typhon may have spread to the exterior. And remember, other airlocks you find will have to be opened from the inside first. Last thing, you don't have a propulsion system for your suit yet. You'll need one to maneuver.
Okay, then.
So there's the lower access, which was actually, we could have gone via that little room just outside of Dr. Calvani's office. You can see here. Carrying objects could be really weird and finicky, but at the very least, the game, like when you like it looses from your grip and gets put inside you, the thing just becomes like weightless, like physicsless until you get through it, and then it sort of puts back into reality. So you don't get stuck.
It basically just does whatever's required to make sure that you as a player have a good experience.
Yeah, so I could have, instead of just like repairing my armor earlier, I could have just used that operator. I could have summoned a maintenance operator, and he'd have fixed me up, good and proper.
You got 3 usages of that. It looks like.
Well, three operators total can be taken out of it. The help they can give you is infinite, and they hang around at least while you're in the area.
That's pretty cool. Well, Mr. Mimic, it appears that you've been living 2 lives. Neither of these lives have a future, however, because you're dead.
There's a radioactive object over there as well. You can get radiation sickness in this game, and there is like pills you can pop to try and fix that.
Oh, gee whiz, I wonder... Yeah, you fucking think. You're not fooling anybody, pal.
He tried.
He tried.
Bless his cotton socks, he tried.
I will say, I've completely forgotten what my thought was earlier when January interrupted me, and I was like, I could talk over January, but why? January is literally you. That seems disrespectful to talk over myself. Or yourself. Whatever. I'm having an existential crisis.
There's a thing down here, and like what it's attached to it isn't relevant until like far later. But you can also see there's a suit upgrade down there. I want that. So I'm gonna need to get repair 3, which means I'm gonna need like 1 more neuromod.
Okay then. I do appreciate that you've gone for maximum repair, like pretty much the first thing. That's almost exactly what I would have done.
Mm-hmm. It's like hacking can get you into a lot of places, but repair will make a lot more places available to you. That is my favorite usage of a recycling charge, by the way. It saves on having to use leverage, and it's also like I talked about how there's always solutions to like problems that like can be solved fairly easily with neuromods. But the recycling charge is the there's an object blocking my doorway solution.
It's the master key. It's the underslung shotgun.
There are other tricks you can use, like leverage level 1 can be used to throw boxes at stuff to try and knock them off of like their stacks and things like that, but it's not terribly reliable in a lot of regards.
Man, I'm about halfway through this beer and I'm feeling fantastic. I should say this is what, 36 ounces, so it's not like I'm having just a normal pint here.
There we go.
Typhon
and here's
lure.
our last of the new grenades. The Typhon lure.
Fun.
And the Typhon lure does exactly what it says in the box. You throw this out, and Typhon just walk over and want to have a go at it, and want to have a look, and you can use that to sneak up on them and beat the absolute snot out of them.
Starbender Cycle. For some reason, like that title reminded me of Old Man's War by John Scalzi. You read that shit?
No, but I would just say it's shitty fiction. It's intentionally bad shitty fiction, and there's actually an achievement for finding and reading all, like, I think it's 4 of them.
Well, John Scalzi is actually a decent writer. The Old Man's War books are candy. You know, I mean, they're not hard, crunchy science fiction or anything, but they're good. They're good fun. They're not expected to be anything beyond good fun. Oh man, that automatic sort though. That is so cathartic after seeing Loon just go completely apeshit. Fucking Resident Evil 4. You hit one button and it's just done sanely, and I'm just like, yes, this is the tooling we need.
So, an earlier thing was talking about how Franklin tends to like focus on really stupid, like dumb shit that doesn't really matter. Yeah, like somebody else came up with the Huntress bolt thrower, and he was just like, "Oh man, I gotta help like perfect this design." It's just
warning, radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Assassin League. Assassin
Yeah.
League? Okay, is this guy like starting a D&D group or something?
Well, like I've been invited to one when I was at university as well. Essentially, you get a list. You've got someone you've got to assassinate. And you have to like hit them. Like you either have to sort of like poke at them, like from close range, and say, "I have assassinated you," or like you've got to like hit them with like a Nerf dart or something. And the idea is basically somebody else is hunting you at the same time as well.
So I mean, it's a little bit like the old game The Ship, only in real life. So you, god damn, that sounds kind of cool actually. Shit.
Yeah, I didn't end up joining the thing because I just had too many classes. But also the fact is, it got given to me by somebody. I didn't even see them do it. I looked down, and on like the book I'd been reading, just on like the corner, there was one of them. I'm like, oh, okay. Clearly, if I ever have to go up against the person who gave me this, I'm gonna get fucking murdered. So I'm out. I'm out immediately.
IRL hitman, man. IRL.
I was just like, shit. I've never felt so weirded out by that. So now we have a propulsion device,
Hooray!
and it'll let us travel in space, but it also gives us a float, which will allow us to get across sort of semi-difficult distances, but also will stop us from taking fall damage.
Oh my god, reload your weapon, please.
I will soon. Calm down. My god, you get triggered for this, like, the silliest, most inane things.
I do, actually. I'll
Do you want me to rotate a fish for, like, 10 minutes? Will that make you happy?
No, that will actually make me sad.
See? There you go, you gigantic baby. Let's go to space! Space!
What should we be playing here? I feel like we should be playing, like, some classical music. I'm feeling like the Blue Danube right now. The Blue Danube. That's what I'm feeling. Microgravity. Okay, sure. I guess that makes
floating.
sense, actually. Yeah. It's not technically 0G. It's just... Whoa. Okay, that owns.
Yeah. So you've got full descent style movement here.
Yeah.
You can rotate yourself.
You mean descent in like the old ship combat game of the late 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything about that is good.
Because we saw some dead people out there in space. We know where they are. They're kind of marked, so we can go out and bother them. You can't go too far out. You can sort of see those rings out in the distance. You go beyond those, the field that this place generates no longer is able to protect you from the harsh radiation of the sun, and you will die.
Okay, so you go too far out and it just murders you. That makes sense.
It's to stop you from just trying to float to the moon to safety.
Right, you know,
because you've got no oxygen limit.
Right.
They give you the. You can very easily kill yourself though by going at extremely high speeds and slamming into a wall.
Because of
that is the thing.
Oh, Oh man.
No, that's the thing. I've done it. And it damages your armor really badly. That's where most of my armor damage my very first playthrough
I
came
have
from
absolutely
because you just
no problem with anything you just said because that sounds
just
amazing.
slam it into a wall at like 10 meters a second. Just does you in. It's like
So
crunk.
good.
Yeah. And so here's a violent venting of Dr. Calvani's office.
It's one of those situations where you're playing it in a video game and you do your best to hang on and you feel like it's gonna be okay, but I mean, if you allow yourself to let go of the conceit of the video game, you just realize exactly how fucking horrifying this would be, disorienting this would be. Like, I'm not exactly prone to motion sickness, but I feel like this one would make me want to puke. Found him not surprising.
This is Dr. Calvino.
What's up?
I'm feeling ill, not myself today. I think I won't be in for my shift at all.
Okay. Do you still want me to finish this array? I fabricated a shit ton of glass.
Array? I don't recall.
You asked me to set up a new array.
You must have misunderstood. Are you... Honestly, I prefer if you left my experiments alone in my absence.
Well, look, I have a message you left me. Seriously, I would not have made all of this if you hadn't...
No, of course. I remember now. Let's just, for the time being, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Let's talk about it tomorrow.
I'm gonna feel really, really sad when we find Miss Oyabe's corpse.
Mio, this is
I think we already didn't we?
Did we?
She was like from earlier,
you've turned in.
where she was like, "Oh, I think we just lost 2 labs."
Yeah. I mean, was that her body? I guess that makes sense.
I don't know. I can't keep up with all of these
I
dead
can't.
people.
I can't either.
I want you to put together a new micro.
But yeah, this is the message he sent first. So he's obviously like he was digging it up and finding it, like,
Right.
and was like, "What?"
Clive is being an ass. Just take it from the supply closet when he's not looking.
Lorenzo has some issues.
But I'm sending it to you anyway.
Yeah, here's another reason why the repair kit is so good. We can't actually, without it, we can't get into a particular area because it basically just cut off the like it damaged the fail safe for the event of a breach. Well, now we've done that, it sealed that corridor off. So now we can actually go in there and visit a chamber that's safe but wasn't safe to access.
Mm-hmm. Multiple objectives.
You can basically, as you get quests, it will give you like waypoints and stuff.
I get
some
that,
don't have
I get that.
waypoints.
It's just that, like any other game would have simply overlaid a single one of them or something like that. Most games would not have taken the time to understand there were multiple things bringing you to this place. I mean, that was cool.
Get ourselves a bit more biohazard waste and some more repair stuff. Just like this entire thing full of reployers. Hilarious. So yeah, repair is like so many places you can get using repair.
Exactly.
Repair and hacking are very good access stuff, but I feel like repair is the best one.
Machine sounds. That's great.
And I'm very good at being aware that nowhere is safe. And that if you go out somewhere and come back, this game likes to put somebody else there.
You sons of bitches. You sons of bitches.
Yeah, use the elevator.
Use the elevator. It actually did. Damn, son.
The grab chute, I guess. The good thing about the Phantoms is the stronger the Phantom, the better the stuff they usually have on them.
That particular Phantom didn't give you a whole lot of trouble.
Well, I knew he was coming.
We didn't even have a name.
So we're gonna go visit that area that was sealed off before. Because now we've successfully sealed. I'm like, no, I left a cube in there. And we're going here to the Beams and Waves lab for one very good reason. And I hope you get very nice Half-Life vibes from this, because
Yeah, no, this is giving me some serious Resonance Cascade vibes right here.
let's
Oh
fire the Q-beam.
damn, boy, get fucked, Phantom.
So the Q-beam is the next tech weapon we get. It is not like other weapons in that it does not directly do damage. What it does is as you saw, the health bar of the Phantom turned green, and then when it filled up, he died. That's how it works. It'll essentially energize an enemy until they explode.
Okay, so it basically does no damage until it kills you.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
that makes
it doesn't.
sense.
It is your ideal weapon for dealing with like something that's just way too fucking tough to handle. That said, there are certain enemies, electrical based enemies. Don't shoot this at them.
It just makes them
It
stronger,
will actually-
won't they?
It will energize the hell out of them,
Yeah.
and they will be stronger.
Reminds me of that one Futurama episode where they were trying to deal with they were trying to deal with some dude that was like an electrical nebula being, and it, like the entire episode was a tribute to Star Trek, and they were just like, well, we're just putting too much helium in a balloon. It's so simple. It makes so much sense. And Prey is just like, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about, Fry. Guts.
So there's a thing going on about a fella who works here named Jay Dalton, and he's convinced that Lane Carpenter has stolen his ideas and designs for himself. You know, this is
creepy.
like workplace drama, but in like a really tight confined space station.
Where you
So it's
can't
like, well,
avoid somebody.
yeah. And it seems like they're siding with Lane on this as well. Lane is making Josh look pretty crazy, and the fact he's sending like 12 emails is probably. Oh dear.
Yikes. Yeah, this is the sort of thing that needs to go to an ombudsman or something, because trying to just deal with it in the office itself is not going to end well for anybody involved. Hi, Phantom.
So here we go.
Get fucked, nerd. Oh god, that was beautiful.
Yep, he's dead. And just that Phantom, like the more health they have, the longer it takes. So that just Phantom alone right now took half the loaded ammo. And it does tick down slowly, so you want to, like, if you really want to use this thing to straight up murder stuff, you're going to want to invest a lot of upgrades into it.
Sure.
Because that way it pays for itself then. Better firing time, like, fills up the bar quicker. Just, it's a good weapon, but you got to know your target. Okay, let's go here where our buddy died.
Demonstration stage.
This is where our friend glued up the wall and got kinetic blast to death.
I'm really
And
sad.
we've still got one.
I'm really sad that he died. I liked him.
I've got all these weapon upgrade things. I'm like, I think I should really just start, pouring them in.
I'm pleased to see that those things stack.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, sure, dude. You keep telling yourself that. Just keep repeating that. It's like Amigo. That's what's creeping me out about these things. They repeat the last things they heard, and it's like a fucking Migo from Lovecraftian lore. That's what got me.
Grab whatever you can and get to my office. We're evacuating. What? What should I... Neuromods, exotic material, just hurry. Meet me in my office. Yes, sir. And bring a glue gun.
Sadly, neither of them made it.
Womp womp. Shape in the glass. Yep. No, this is... These things are totally like Shadow Migos. Jesus Christ, you just dealt with that guy clinically.
It will not be so easy later on. I incapacitate them, hit them with a bit of damage, and then generally speaking, I don't recommend trying to pop your slowdown at the start, because it just like with a lot of things, I don't feel like you can get quite as much out of it.
Uh-huh.
The upgraded levels of the ability do work out fairly well though. So we got ourselves another upgrade. The battery life of the flashlight is improved.
Which you've totally been using so much, right?
It'll actually come in really handy later.
Okay. I'll stop being sarcastic.
It still won't.
Then.
It's. In fact, in the next video, or if the adventure to get to where I want to go takes too long, the video after that we'll see just how effective that flashlight is for that situation.
What are you doing? Materials expert.
Just
pretty good one.
think. I didn't take it. I was just thinking about it. I realized I should hold on to some stuff just for later because we'll need a few things still. All right, so now we've got the keycard. We can go into Dr. Calvino's office.
All right, Calvino, let's see what you've got. Show me what you got. I want to see what you got.
Well, he's got
A med kit.
he's actually got a few things. But what we're here to do mostly is we're here to reboot the server that Alex shut down.
I don't really understand what the point of this exercise is. If he shut it down once, won't he just shut it down again?
Depends on if he's actually able to get access to shutting it down.
If he's paying attention, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably,
So
he's pretty busy right
things
now,
out
so I
there.
guess that makes sense.
Yeah, he had to go, so it's very likely he's not in a position where he can see this is happening.
Prototype looking glass.
He's hoping you're staying where you are, like you're gonna listen to him.
I actually almost asked last time if there was like a non-standard game over if you just stood still the way he asked, like there wasn't like frickin' Far Cry 4.
No. Yeah, so Dr. Calvino has asked for a mug that has to be a specific weight, and also for a scale that has to read a specific weight.
That's interesting.
And this is just Jorgen talking about the looking glass and how it's all fairly reliant on the server.
Yeah. A legitimate problem. Test phase 1, network utilities, diagnostics.
So we need to see which system isn't working. And so it's that one.
Okay, fair enough.
Then we can go in and we can just turn it back on again. Get it to troubleshoot it and fix it.
God, I wish that these sorts of things actually worked in real life.
Nice work.
Well, just the future.
Glass screens are online again. Head back to your office as soon as you can. It's important you hear the rest of your
Why can
message.
you not play it from here?
I think because the functionality is, like, for working it is here, but the actual other stuff, like the file to watch isn't.
Capture looks a little hot.
Fair enough, I guess.
Where's the photometer? The
Oh,
handheld.
that's kind of neat.
This is,
Did you take it?
yeah,
No.
the looking glass are always
Yesterday
amazing.
we had two, now I can't find one.
We've only ever had one.
Mimics.
Nonsense.
I guess you forgot.
I can see that, like, working for this guy is a fucking unpleasant sort of thing.
Yeah, seriously, I'm becoming a bigger fan of Miss Okabe every time I see her.
You're leaving?
I thought we were done.
Ah, just turn it off then.
I feel like you're upset with me.
No, I suppose it's late after all. Go, sleep.
What about you?
What about me? Yeah, don't concern yourself. I'll finish.
Right. I guess I'll see you later then.
Yeah, you guess.
What?
You're always saying, I guess. That worked, I guess. I'll see you later, I guess. You're a scientist. Stop guessing. No. Or be quiet. Yeah, that's all.
Good night, Dr. Calvino.
Ja rompiskatole.
Definitely a big fan of Miss Okabe.
To be fair, though, something is clearly going wrong with Calvino. Something is
Yeah,
in his dreams, and considering we've got weird shit going on in this station, it's fairly safe to assume there's something's gone horribly wrong. Oh, look, he's got his coffee cup.
I would be surprised
Oh,
if
look.
that actually contained coffee.
Oh, we'll find out. Oh, it looks like it did, because it's not 170 grams. Now it is.
She drank a little bit of it. Are you
So that's why.
for real, dude? All right.
Yeah, remember
whatever.
he was going.
That's
He
your...
was going a bit loopy and a bit paranoid. And what's that? Oh, look, That's his Tumblr account.
Okay. I feel like I should have seen that coming, but I didn't.
And yeah, look. Get the keys to his cabin and some neuromods.
Oh,
This game
man.
rewards paying attention and watching and learning so much.
Mm-hmm. Rewards perception. If you're special, you better be special in that P.
I have so many concerns about that statement.
I
but we'll-
really do too. I was. I mean,
It's like instant regret just out of recording.
well, I mean, I don't really regret it. I'm mostly drunk, so there's that.
Like this can be fairly fiddly, this particular spot, because there's not really too many good angles to get up on. You want
Yeah,
to try and get it so it'll let you climb.
You kind of both climb up and duck at the same time.
Yeah, and there we go. That's all it was, but materials are always necessary, so it's cool.
I do really understand, or want to understand, who the hell I decided it was a great idea to put used hardware up there, though. I mean, it's not even anything that valuable. It's just frayed wire and shit.
They could have just tossed it up there. But we're more or less done in here. The only thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna raise that little satellite-y thingy so I can get my
Rock and roll.
device, get my upgrade.
Damn straight, dude.
I should probably get the operator spare parts neuromod at some point because some of
Sure.
these repairs take a lot of parts.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. That one just took 8 spare parts, and you've only got 20. It's not like you're rolling in them. Leverage assist.
There we go.
Ooh, neat. I imagine that.
Makes picking up stuff a lot quicker.
Oh, but it doesn't actually give you a bonus as though you had 2 leverage instead of 1.
No, you will still only be able to pick up leverage 1 items. You will just pick them up
unfortunate.
faster. Yeah.
Still, that can be useful if you want to throw a refrigerator in a phantom's face, which, by the way, I totally want to see you do at some point.
Like, yeah, I think everyone wants to see me do that, so I'll
wanna
have
see
to.
that happen.
I'll have to get myself a lot of neuromods so that I can show off a lot of stuff.
So
much.
I get the feeling that this game is gonna go on for a minute, so I'm patient, willing to wait. Hey, you guys! Just hit him while he's falling down. Damn, son.
Ruthless.
Just absolutely unforgiving. I approve.
I am not here to make friends with these things. That's for sure.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh yeah, you always feel really good after winning a fight with these things. So we're back into the lobby.
Until
Fix
9 a.m.
this.
Man, I don't wake up until 9 a.m. How about you start serving breakfast at 9 a.m.?
Well, this is a corporate chip, so they
Fuck
probably
that.
just
I
giant
am
jerks
corporate. I own my own business. I am the corporation.
about it. You hired the
I
corporation.
don't wake
Well,
up
fair
till
enough.
9.
Alright, so we're going to be encountering a new kind of phantom shortly. It's called the etheric phantom.
Jesus.
They are phantoms on crack. They can do so many things, and you don't want to be near them. As you can see, he's glowing purple. So let's lure him over there.
What the
You can see he looks quite a little bit different.
He's enraptured by this.
Which is good,
Because screw that guy.
because fighting them is not pleasant. They will mess you up. So, taking care of that problem.
I'll take your word for that.
Don't stand near them when they die either, because for a while there, that energy remains and it will hurt you.
Yep. That seems unpleasant.
It is very unpleasant. There is another one wandering around, but it's down on the lower levels, so we don't have to deal with it for now.
Crap, a used cigar.
This is where you start like getting a lot more phantoms with other phantoms instead of just like the 1 and 2 together.
Exhibit.
Also, the 1 by themselves.
Exhibit is really happy about this. Yo, dog, I heard you like your phantom, so I put your phantom in your phantom so you can phantom while you phantom.
So, something extremely suspicious here. You can probably already tell.
I definitely can. Yeah, why the hell?
And you'll notice the damage we just did to that one. Hello to the greater mimic.
Oh, good. Because they weren't creepy enough before.
Yep, greater mimics have more health, and do more damage. And I think that's about it, really. So yeah, so this is the other place. This is a setup we were going to go back here. So that's the way to get into volunteer quarters from the simulations area. I'm going to forget I had that code when we go back there.
Fair enough.
Because I'm dumb. Also, because it was like a week.
I mean, there's clearly a lot to keep track of in this game.
Yeah. So this is talking about a fellow named Dr. Igwe. Really, really odd sort of guy. It looks like they've gotten somebody, like a famous musician, up to the station to like record his skills. And Igwe is like a huge fan of him. And so like they're all like a bit worried Igwe was gonna like make a scene and be really embarrassing.
So what I'm hearing is that they brought up Skrillex and Igwe is really into dubstep. All right,
Yeah, let's watch
loading.
the rest
Let's
of our
see a thing.
message.
I'm gonna shut up.
You're not going to like what I have to say next. You have to destroy Talos 1. The research, the Typhon, nothing can survive. Including you. I know how it sounds, but you've seen what those creatures can do. They're a part of you now. If even one cell gets back to Earth, we're lost. I'm sorry. I wish there was another way. January can walk you through activating the self-destruct mechanism. Alex will try to stop you. He's allergic to failure. Too proud to go back to Mom and Dad with his tail between his legs. So, it's up to you now. Good luck. Told you wouldn't like it.
Well, you weren't wrong. Through a glass darkly. Son of a bitch! I completely missed that objective name last time. Through a scanner darkly. I get it. It's a Philip K. Dick thing.
It's January.
Hey, hiya, January. You're a bro.
I'm January 2035. I'm an operator. There are many operators aboard Talos 1, but none of them are like me.
Uh-huh. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this
free
one's
you from the
mine.
simulation. Second task was to make sure you saw your video. Those are done. Interesting. New directives are now available to me. The self-destruct protocol for Talos 1 is activated by 2 arming keys. Your brother has the first. You had the second. Alex destroyed your arming key, but you hid a fabrication plan for a new one in deep storage. That's where you'll need to go next. We can worry about getting Alex's key afterwards. The Typhon are spreading fast, Morgan. You'll be racing against them. And your brother. This key card will grant you access to the main lift and all the labs. The main lift is the fastest way to reach deep storage.
Just gonna poop it out.
Mm-hmm. Bonk.
General access. Okay, there you go.
Next topic. You asked me to provide you with more neuromods, which I've done. Good luck, Morgan. You designed me to assist you. I have more instructions, but I can't access them until you've recovered both arming keys. I have your voice. It's a tactic to ease your natural suspicion. I'm sure you realize this. I mention it so that you'll know I'm earnest. You instructed me to sabotage the test procedures if Alex ever failed to release you, or if the Typhon organisms escaped containment. Both happened. Every neuromod takes a snapshot of your brain and models what it would look like if you learned something new. Then it makes those changes. Billions of connections remapped in a matter of minutes. All made possible by our friends from outer space. Simmons installed blank neuromods on you. That's why you could remember the previous day's test and escape.
Sure.
There we go. That's all the information that we really needed to get and really were going to get. So, next time on Prey, we're going to be heading to try and get to deep storage, and it's going to be an experience because obviously nothing is so easy as being able to just walk there directly.
Yeah, that. God bless. This is quite a mindfuck. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need some good beer for every single one of these episodes. That's clear.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a good beer game.
This is definitely a good beer game.
That was Hardware Labs, and next time we'll be visiting a few places, and we'll also be exploring a little bit more of the lobby as well because now we have the general access key. There are a few more places opened up to us. And until then, I've been the Last Robocat.
And I've been Cool Guy.
We'll see you all next time with Prey.
Mwah.